You're the one that does the video.
I know. I'm
Speaking of
saying I
which,
should do it. The video is live.
roll the video. Roll the video.
We're rolling.
All right. Welcome, challengers, to Battleground of the Gods, a Smite podcast. I am your host, Dep Nation, and joining me today we have Fro Double G
What's up, everybody?
and Riggs.
Good morning, gamers.
Oh, it's always good morning gamers with you. No good
Like,
evening gamers. I mean, we'd have to do
10
it
a.m.
damn late at night. Yeah.
Like 10 a.m. for them. And to be fair, when
You
we
know,
release in the
I'm not
morning,
stopped.
yeah, the majority of us, or majority of our listeners are in the morning. A good chunk that
Yeah.
listen on their way to work or at work.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for one person to be like, I listened to you at school.
Jesus Christ. If you want, I could just go move to Sweden like Stoff did, because you guys are just playing MOTDs with Stoff, and then when he's like, all right, I'm gonna go eat some dinner, I was like, dude, I just ate breakfast, bro. It's like 9 o'clock.
Right.
Don't
You know,
think I
speaking of
would.
the community, Fro Double G, you were mentioning about getting a little bit more community involvement.
Yeah. So as wintertime comes around, gaming in general gets a little more popular. Our Discord always gets a little more hopping. Intentional frog reference, by the way. So I'm in some other Discords, and they do certain things like selfie Sundays, things like that to get some people involved. I'm looking to do the same, but the good majority of our Discord is dudes. Like, we do have a few ladies with us, but most of us aren't into the whole selfie thing. At least I'm assuming. I could be wrong. Let me know. But I was potentially thinking like we do, post a funny meme on Sundays, or we could always do like post a GIF that you like or something like that. Or dad jokes. We used to do daily dad jokes, but the app I had ran out. People could post their favorite dad jokes. Anything like that. Give us a suggestion. And glad to hear it. This is just to get more community involvement in the Discord, get people chatting a little bit more. So let us know.
Taco Tuesday. Take a picture of your taco.
I mean, yeah, honestly, if it's like that, I'm not sure if you were meaning to meme on that one, but
I mean, I go out for Taco Tuesdays sometimes.
I know what Fro's talking about.
Oh, you nasties! You both nasty. Get out of here.
Just the way you're like, you take a picture of your taco. It's like
host.
Trying to focus, but I am 12. Okay,
it was more so the way you said it. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to take a picture of your dinner, I guess Dep's out here trying to get a picture of your taco. To each their own. Yeah. So if you have any good suggestions at all, like that, we're down. And don't think that it's a dumb idea, because like if you're in our Discord chatting, you are one of the people we want chatting. So there we go.
Hell yeah.
Should we keep letting Dep talk, or should we let him know that he's muted?
Yeah, I think you're muted, Dep.
Oh, he said he's not muted. I can read lips right
no.
now. This is very interesting. Oh boy. Now we got to figure out what's going on. We got to see if his Audacity is actually working. We're going to go ahead and exclude Dep for a minute, and I'm going to take on over while he does his thing. Riggs, why don't you tell us how your games were?
Dude, I have been slam jamming some fucking Smite this week. And I mean that in a very honest and sincere way. Not like the usual, I've been playing so much Smite. I have actually been playing so much fucking Smite.
I actually have been playing so much Smite.
Actually. And I would... Today, I should be here saying, hey guys, I got my very first Conquest pentakill. But alas,
Should. I hear you say should. It's interesting that you're not.
Alas, I am here saying this motherfucker took my pentakill.
Ho's mad.
When he was at 1 HP. and then stood there and goes, "Oh, I didn't realize." Well, my entire team. All right, so basically, here, let me paint the picture for you. Right, so
Paint
I'm
it,
playing. This is
please
actually in a
do.
rank game too.
Check one,
Let's hear
two.
it,
Am I
Picasso.
coming through?
What's up, Dep?
Hey,
I
Thank
Dep's
you
can't
for
hear
back.
you.
joining us.
That he can't hear
All
it.
sorts of badness, man.
Well, we can hear him.
We could hear Dep. Hi, Dep. Good thing you're editing this week.
That will
Anyways,
be great. Paint the
Yeah.
picture.
Big
so let me.
weird weird stuff going on. I don't get it, but
Are you back, Dep?
I'm back. My Audacity, like everything freaked out. Audacity stopped. Discord had weird happenings. It was all bad.
Do we need to do another clap sync, or
We
we?
might
Now,
need to do another clap sync. And
now
Fro, you were talking about
we
needing another clap sync in here.
we normally don't do clap syncs, a second one in the mid. We will normally wait until the end, but with
This will just
mysterious
be
issues like this, sorry
yes.
everyone, we are going to do one now because who knows, this may be a 3 or 4 clapper.
You never know.
You never know.
So
So
one,
before
two,
Riggs, paint the
three.
picture.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So Riggs was painting a picture.
He was. It
Oh,
was
I was
wonderful. He
fucking
was like
Picasso my
Jean-Claude
little
Bob
ass
Ross
off,
over
dude.
here.
Oh damn.
Yeah. You say Bob Ross, I say Picasso. But anyways, so
Well, he
what should
does a
have
very
happened? Like I said,
abstract
is
one. I was giving you like you put in that detail, right? But not having to get into the detail.
I'm a fucking slut for some detail, dude.
Mm.
All right, we'll take a
So
picture of your
I
taco and
should,
send
like
it
I
to
said,
Dep.
like I said, I should be saying I got my first penta, right? So here's let me I'll paint the picture for you guys, right? Well, I'm chilling. This is a ranked game, by the way. We're playing some Naja jungle.
Oh shit! Nice.
That's
I'm
that's the most realist a penta can get. Ranked game
I'm
penta.
slam jamming. I'm fucking destroying this team, dude. The ranked reset has been kind to me. Uh, so I'm doing my thing. We're pretty ahead as a team, but I'm kind of like going bananas, dude. And they're like they're kind of like posturing around gold, right? We're in like that oracles area, kind of like between mid camps and oracles and that kind of area, right? So they have a Susano, right? And he tries to go on me. He tries to like 1v1 me in the jungle. I kill him. And then they had a Ymir that came to try to peel for me, and like my whole team kind of collapsed on him. I end up getting a kill on the Ymir. So I'm like, all right, I got a nice little double kill. Then their Ishtar ADC comes over and she tries to peel for them, and I just sash her and I kill her like instantly, right? So I'm like, oh, I got a nice little triple kill. And then they had a Kukulin, right? That was kind of running away. He got poked out a little bit. I sash him. I'm chasing him down. I end up killing him. Meanwhile, they have a Tiamat that's running towards their duo lane tier 2. So we're kind of all as a team kind of like chasing this Tiamat out, and like my whole team's like, woo, like they're spamming shit. They're like pinging the Tiamat. Like we all know what's gonna happen, right? She's like,
Yeah.
maybe she's one sash away from dying. Like all I gotta do is hit my sash. And I have a Kabrakan, right? Kabrakan solo, he's full damage. He's running at this Tiamat with his one charge. He's going for it. And I'm like, I
Coffin
literally
monkey
press my
shuffle.
sash.
Yeah.
I pressed my sash. I think I had who was my support? I had a Kepri. I think my Kepri like rooted her in place, so she's literally just waiting for me to press my sash. I press my sash as my Kabrakan's walrus handsing fucking coffin monkey shuffling on her and just insta kills her because she's like 100 HP. And then I'm like, I sash and I hit nothing, and my whole team just stops and they're like, they all start typing. They're like, that's some small dick energy, dude. And then the Kabrakan stands there for a second and he's like, oh, I didn't realize. And we're like,
How
what do you
how
mean
do
you
you
didn't
how do you
realize?
not realize like everything, the stars were aligning, motherfucker?
Yeah. That would have
That's
been. I've gotten a lot of pentas in my Smite career, but I've never gotten a conquest penta, which is
you
I play a lot of
you
conquests, but
you know it's hype when your allies are calling them out for it. When they're like,
yeah,
Yeah.
"What the fuck? You
I
ruined
mean,
his penta." When you don't
that's
have to
not
say a
just a
word.
conquest penta. That's a ranked
Damn,
conquest penta.
conquest penta. All right.
So
Controversial statement. And as a non-conquest player, you all know I'm a non-conquest player. A conquest penta is more coveted and just a step above a regular one. Now,
it's more than
I
a
agree.
step.
right?
I
It's
think it is
tough.
like the next step up as
It's
far as
penta
like
on the largest
categories
map.
of penta.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
the
Well,
size of the map
conquest is the
determines
highest.
the rank of the penta.
not only the size of the map, the design of the mode, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Literally the first half of the match, all 5 of the enemies are not together. And if they are, some fucky shit is going on. And they're probably going to get punished for it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, not even the penta. It's just not a good thing to rotate as 5 on, sub 10, 15 minutes, depending on the meta.
Yeah.
And even then, a lot of times it's like 4. Still let your hunter, get a little more. Who knows? It changes. Anyways, but so that alone makes it harder to get, right? You take a 30-minute conquest, a 30-minute arena, 30-minute assault, 30-minute slash, right? There is a larger, you were getting almost double the amount of time with an opportunity, right? Especially in arena and assault, but slash to degree as well, right? Because all 5 start at the you start off at red buff together.
Right.
Hopefully. Fuck the people who are too slow. Come on, it's slash.
Yep.
Buy your shit. Let's go. Think about your build loading in. Anyways, that's a side rant.
Yep.
So it is. I'm just gonna say it is. It's harder to get because the opportunity does not present itself as often.
No.
Period. Now the ranked part you could argue to different
I'm not counting
degrees.
that part. I'm just counting the map.
Now I'm
Conquest.
counting
I
that part
will count
because
it.
you can only queue with one other person.
There is that.
Regular conquest, you can go in with a 5 stack. You could force it.
You could try to force it. You're right.
Yeah.
Right. You could help enable it. I will agree with that. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I will also say, regardless whether or not we're gonna put more weight behind it, it definitely sounds cooler. And we can all accept that. Dude, I got a rank conquest penta, bitch. Sounds cooler than I got a conquest benta, bitch. Or penta, bit, yeah. Especially when I fuck up saying it. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Continue.
It was a sad moment, man. We ended the game right after that because we just decided him. It was pretty late in the game, so like we just ran it down. But my whole team was just like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" Blah blah blah. And like they're just fucking flaming this Kavrakin for it. And then he's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And then the funny part was, after the game, they ended up friend requesting me, and then I ended up playing with them a couple. It was like I think my Kavrakin and my Kepri, I think, were queued together, and so we ended up playing a couple of conquests together. They're pretty cool people.
Yep.
But they fucking took my penta, and I am not happy about it.
Well, one of them enabled, and the other one stole.
Yeah, the other one was like, "Here you go." I kept rooted him in place, and
This
all it was
Riggs,
just press my sash.
Riggs shook hands with one, turned, and got slapped by the other.
Yeah.
It was tragic.
And then he's like, "Fuck it, let's do it again."
You know?
If he says sorry,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was. He didn't see it. I don't understand how he didn't notice, but he was very apologetic afterwards. I was like, "It's not that big of a deal." But in my head, I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "It's Llama Penta," and it's like on the outside, I was like, "Nah, it's cool, man, it's cool."
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I have been slamming some ranked as well. I'm trying to keep up on my. I don't know if I made a promise or whatever it was to get to Masters before the end of the season, but I would like to try to get to Masters before we go to Worlds. So that's my goal right now. I am queuing into 2700 MMR right now.
That's tough.
So I'm getting there. I'm still plat 1 because the way you earn TP is really stupid, but I'm queuing into basically high level diamond almost Masters games right now. So I'm getting there. The ranked reset has been kind. I've been getting a lot of easy games. So that's fun.
Yeah. I
mention Worlds. I feel like we should take this opportunity real quickly. 3 out of 4 of us are going to Worlds this year.
Yep.
My wife and
Yeah, we mentioned that last week.
Well, I'm just re-mentioning.
Got him.
We have a role in the Discord, so we can like coordinate and group up and everything. While we're at Worlds, hop in the Discord, grab the Worlds role, ask for it, whatever you need to do. We'll get you the role. We can meet up at Worlds, have a drink, chill out.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
I can talk to you about how I'm a fucking Masters player now at that point.
Hey, there you go. Manifest.
How my
destiny.
ego is bigger than all you guys. But yeah, so I've been slamming some ranked. If you guys play Conquest or you guys are trying to grind ranked and you have you're like a solo main or a jungle main or something, Naja, hella good. Those buffs help him out. 12-second sash at base, kind of OP. Especially since you build cooldown on Naja a lot of times. You'll have like a 8-second sash. Super, super strong. You're playing solo. Guan Yu. Axe just got buffed. Guan Yu loves Axe. Guan Yu also loves Fey Blessed Hoops. Uh, can't really go wrong with that. What else did I do this week? Oh, I know Fro, I know you were involved a little bit. I don't know how much, I don't know if Dep was there. But over the past couple days, there has been an appearance of one Silent Reveries and one Big Rick 20X.
Let's
Now
not
they might
forget
not be playing on
Trevor.
those accounts. They might be playing on Zillion Beers, and I hope Jing wins. But they have been playing.
Well, the
we
you
have
can't
we have been
Trevor
playing.
and his raw chicken
Oh yeah,
snipe.
raw chicken snipes and grab my chalk. They all made
Yeah,
appearances this week. And we do have a rule. At least I have a rule when I play on that account, is where I don't play anything that's like meta, or if I do, I don't build like the good
meta
shit.
builds.
Like
Yeah,
we were all playing together and we were playing an assault. And so I had Bryce build my Bryce was in charge of my build. So I got Charybdis, so I went Deathbringer first item, Wind Demon second item, Toxic Blade, and then I was gonna go Frostbound. That's what Bryce wanted.
mm-hmm.
So those are fun games.
Bryce wants,
I know
Bryce gets.
I don't remember a ton of what we did in those, but I know it's been kind of cool playing with like Rick and Bryce again and stuff, because yeah, we played a lot with them before, and then they kind of went away from Smite for a little bit, and now they're slowly kind of coming back. I don't know how much Rick is coming back, but it's been fun to
I,
play with the lads a
in
little
my
bit.
opinion, they're playing because Worlds is coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, whatever the
Just
reason, it's cool to play with them.
right. Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. If only so they can understand the meta a little bit and enjoy the games better.
right.
Cool, whatever.
Yeah,
They want to have a few beers
yeah.
and fucking memeing some assaults on a fucking Saturday night. I'm for it, man.
Right.
More than a few beers. Some might say a zillion beers.
A
Some
zillion
might say a
beers.
zillion.
Oh,
The funny part is too is like listening to Rick, because Rick, when he was playing Smite a lot, he was super into Smite and he kind of knew a lot of like the intricacies and a lot of the mechanics and stuff. The funny part about Rick is hearing him find out things that have been added to the game since then. He goes, "What the fuck is that? What?" Like we played an assault and Erlang
Yeah.
turtled him, and he's like, "What? I didn't get knocked up. What the fuck?"
Yeah, he's
And
like, why the fuck
yeah.
didn't I get knocked up? Like, he's trying to figure it out. He's like calculating in his head, and it's like, yeah, they removed that. And he's like, what?
Yeah, I forget. There was one other one too. It was like a newer god that did something. He's like, "Whoa, what the heck? Like, why am I doing this?" He's like, "Whoa, what?" Like, he's like, "What is this?"
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, we've been slamming some with Zillion beers in them. Warrior Freya made an appearance last night,
Oh,
and
Rick
Warrior
got to
Freya
find
fucking
out
dominated.
it was Lancelot being immune to everything.
Yep,
Yeah, that
that
had
happened.
happened. Yeah.
Yep. I forget what he hit him with, and he's like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh yeah, Lancelot, he's immune to everything.
Mhm.
I gotta say,
Yeah.
shout out to Sadons with this. The thumbnail he made of Neo stopping the bullets and having it be Lancelot is just too perfect. It really is.
Mhm.
So those have been my games this week. I know Fro, you were with us for a couple of them, and you played more last night when I got off. So I want to take over with your games.
I do. So Karma, after last week's episode where I'm like, yo, Set sounds real fun. I think I can give him a shot now. He'll be great. The MOTD gods were like, hey, then here you go, motherfucker. Give him a shot. I get him in 2 different cooldowns. Fuck Set. What a stupid fucking god. I still hate that motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Worthless, especially in that game mode. Like,
It's
God.
tough. It's tough to use them right in that mode, just because of the cooldowns, the nature of the cooldowns modes. It's tough.
I could
I'll add to
see
that too.
how
Just any
in
5v5 mode like that where you're all together for a lot of times, he's hard to play. Just for,
Yeah.
he doesn't like being in the midst of a 5v5.
no, he does not
Mhm.
at all.
Nope.
at all.
Especially when
And
everybody
the
has
thing is,
bajillion
like,
damage.
if I ever
Yeah.
caught anyone off by themselves, you are mine, motherfucker. Like, I am 3-4 in your ass to death. Well, 3-4 then auto in your ass to death. Yeah. All right. Fuck Set. He's not my guy. He's probably really fun in jungle though. I will say that I did at least not feed this time around. So there's that. A lot of my other games were pretty unnotable this week. I have been just feeding my fucking brains out. That was one of them weeks. Sorry. But I got to play some games yesterday with Bryce and Rick, and a few, what was it, on Friday as well? Thursday. Whatever day it was. Those have been fun, like Rick's been saying. It is nice to get the game with them. There have been some very hype saves, I would say, like in those game modes, because Rick still has the like I'm gonna call out what I'm doing mentality, and when you have someone in your party who is active at doing call outs, it just like encourages others to do it as well. And there was quite a few where it's like, yo, Peel, come to this guy in the background, right? And then like everyone would be calling everything out, and people would be getting out when they should not have been getting out. Now a lot of that would be that like, oh, they decided to dive our Scylla. I don't remember who Bryce was playing, but like they decided to dive our Scylla, and it's like, oh yeah, he's 100% tank, like super tank.
Full tank Hades that they kept on going out of over and over and over and over again.
And like we're talking first item Lono's mask, right? This motherfucker was tank. No, he was tank. And he might as well just been a fucking big old juicy worm on the end of a hook too, because like he spent the vast majority of that game at like 10% HP, and they still kept trying. It was literally like, how many times we got to teach you this lesson, old man? As we would just fucking destroy him, and as soon as they would come in, we would just swarm on top of Bryce, so nobody could actually get to him, right? And then just destroy the person that attempted to dive him. And yeah, who was the one that was diving him? It was an assassin. Let me go back and look.
I think it was like a collie or something. I'm looking at the game right now. There's a collie in there.
I think it was a collie. Yeah. That was great. The Artemis was putting in some work. There was a very ironic moment where, was it Rick or was it you, was in Chiron ult, and you were getting,
that was me.
Yeah, he was going for literally the last hit, right? Bright steals the kill. Very next game, Bright gets Chiron. He actually does get the kill. He gets a double kill on the ult, right? Yeah, he got a double kill, and he was going for a triple kill with Chiron ult, right? One on each shot. And then somebody, I don't remember who it was, but it wasn't Riggs, but somebody stole the kill, so he didn't get it. He's all bitching, right? But because the first two people he had hit were so low in HP, and how Chiron ult works with the revive is you come back with as much health as you dealt damage. He came back with like 100 HP as his collie or whoever the other fucking person was just sitting there like, let's go. Oh, you're back. Whack. And just fucking took it right out. It was so funny. Like, that's karma right there. You got the revive, but didn't matter. Oh, and then, hold up. Did we figure out that, if I remember correctly, Chiron doesn't proc mana core spikes with his giddy up? Wasn't that something we figured out?
No, I didn't have mana core, but it was
Trevor did it one match, and I was like, "Does he proc it?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's
it was
CC.
Danza. Danza 1 doesn't have it.
Well,
that's
intoxicate.
Yeah, that's what I know. He was complaining about that.
Although I will throw this out there. I have never once actually seen these fucking spikes. I've never once on the field seen them. I have no idea what they look like.
They're not that big. They're just like
They're
they
real.
look like
They're
little
real
daggers.
thin. Yeah,
They
they're
look like
real
little
thin.
like white and like purple daggers, and they're crossed like that. On the
Yeah.
Those little fucking the flowers and the little bead ball things. I see those. I can grab
Mhm.
those. I don't know what the little
spikes
ball
are
thing
smaller
does,
than
but I
those,
grab
though,
it.
yeah.
The
Yeah,
flowers,
spikes
I'll
are-
pick those up. I'll take the flowers. I'll take the shield. Or
But
flowers.
it might not proc spikes the Chiron 3 might not because it's bugged. Spikes are bugged with knockbacks. That's why I know Bright has mentioned it
Hmm.
with Shiva 1. Shiva 1 doesn't proc spikes because it's bugged with knockback or like knockbacks. Not like knock ups proc it, but knockbacks or like pulls
Knockbacks,
like
right.
that don't.
So then, yeah, that'd be why.
They're supposed to, but they don't.
Okay, well then yeah. So I was right, but then it just bugged, so it didn't work. Okay, so that'd be why.
Yeah,
Because I remember I like specifically was watching, and I'm like, okay, I know I've never seen these fuckers, but I distinctly watched. There was nothing else on screen. He was charging somebody down, no minions, nothing. Dashed him, knocked the motherfucker back. Nothing. I'm like, okay, well, I guess it doesn't, or I'm still dumb, or both. Both are options. Both
are good. both are
good.
options.
Yeah, I think both work, but yeah, it's supposed to, but it's bugged. So that's why if you play Shiva and you won somebody and it doesn't proc spikes, but it should, and you freak out and you go, "What the fuck?" It's a bug.
I got one last game to talk about here that we played right before recording. I got an outwash in an MOTD, which is cooldowns runneth over today. I may have been a bit of type 2. I'm going to go ahead and admit it. Now, I didn't build defense. It wasn't that bad. But I was on outwash, and I built Gem of Isolation, E-Staff, and Warlock Staff.
No, that's fine. Those are damage items.
Yeah, but when I'm a 3.5k having or health having outwash, that slows everybody, and I still also had Desolation and Spear the Magus.
So you're fine.
It was kind of dirty. It was kind of dirty. It also didn't help that there was a Terra on the enemy team, and in that mode, you can literally throw your 3 on somebody, like quicker than it actually like applies to them. So she was getting stunned constantly. It was very unfortunate for her.
Yeah. What was unfortunate for the enemy team was that Lancelot that sat in base.
Yeah. Well, the Lancelot was like, I want to go fuck up this Outwash, right? But see, Outwash does have the secret that you need to take Lancelot off his horse, right? He's immune to all damage, but you know what he's not immune to is 2,000 burst damage. That'll get that motherfucker off the horse real quick.
Yep, real quick.
And when he ults you, and you're just like, oh well, you have to run through my ult now, and you know open the crypts. Mm-hmm. That one time he literally just off the horse, and it's like, well, that was real good, wasn't it, bud?
I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
Yeah, like he got one kill on me, but that's just because like we were dancing around the pillar, and like just just kind of awkward to hit people when you're dancing around things like that. He got me there, but the other time I fucked him up, and then I don't know if anyone else was fucking with the dude because I didn't see him from there on out, and then he just sat in base. It was very unfortunate. Yeah. We did find out.
I was
Actually, I'm not going to say it on the podcast. Yeah. Never mind.
No, we keep that quiet. Yeah. But so there were a couple times where as Ishtar, I would change to the lob shot, and I would just start hitting him over the wall because I got bored. We were pushing this team in real bad when it came down to be a 4v5. When he just sat in base.
Yeah, when we hit that like 150, 200 ticket lead, we're like, let's just start throwing damage at this dude in base.
Yeah. Which, Lancelot, immune to best adult. Yeah.
Such a stupid fucking god.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to take bets on which CC they're going to let take him off his horse next. That's going to be like the biggest complaint, right? Is they need to add another CC or maybe like 2 more CCs that can get him off his horse. Do you guys want to take bets now on like what the CCs are going to be?
Knockups.
So
Knockups need to get the motherfucker up. Knockbacks, right? Like, come on, think about it. You can't push a horse over or trip the motherfucker and it keeps running. That is simple logical sense that those two should apply.
I think grabs should get him. Because it's
I think
a unique skill shot that like not many gods have, but it's enough. Like Fenrir, bite him off the dang horse. That should make sense. Sylvanas pull and then Bastet ult. Like
I'm
what
torn on grabs.
are there? How many?
I think and along the same thing as Dev, I think silences, because a lot of those grabs you're talking about are coded as silences and then grabs because they make you not be able to use abilities and then they pull you. I think silences are going to be the one they add.
Well, if they add silences, that will inherently add the other ones then too, right?
Yeah, the grabs would then, because a lot of the grabs are coded to where they silence you and then they pull you. Like Sylvanas, it silences you and then pulls you through the wall. Like it's not like a silence, but it makes it to where you can't use abilities because you're getting pulled. So it's coded as a silence, at least for the duration.
Then add silences. I'm fine with that.
I think it's going to be silences because like that's going to be the thing that the community is going to push for is if they continue to get frustrated with Lancelot, it's going to be add something else to get him off his horse.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be the big one.
I mean, controversial statement, he should only be immune to stuns. The logic is he can plow through or charge through the stun. Got it. Cool.
Which is the one that he's not immune to.
Right.
No, I'm cool with that. I'm okay with him being did I say it wrong? I'm sorry. I'm okay with him being immune to stuns, right?
Okay.
Or like Ymir freeze, things like that. Like, yeah, sorry. I'm okay with him like being able to plow through the stun, right, or charge through it. I'm all right with that logic. That's fine with me. Silences, I guess if they're coded like that for the pulls, I could see why you need to add the silences. If not, I'm okay with him being immune to silences on the horse because, like, what can you do? You can hop off and back or turn around, right? I'm all right with that. Although I'm sure there's some who'd argue. But the knock up and knockbacks, I'm real strong on that one. Like, yo, a horse tripping could literally be the end of it. Come on, you could
use the argument of cripple as well. Then
you're not because if you're crippled like on a Wheelix, do you get knocked off?
I know you can't jump.
You can't jump, which that's your.
I don't know if
you can still run around.
You can still run around if you're already on Suku, but can you get on Suku if you're not?
You can't get on Suku if you're crippled, but if you're already on Suku, you just can't jump.
Yeah, you can't mount or dismount, which I'm fine with the same logic applying. Not being able to mount or dismount. I'm okay with that because that's consistency. But he can still.
What if we added something where if he gets knocked off his horse, he's stunned, or something like that?
They should just add a specific interaction with Gilgamesh where Gilgamesh fucking drop kicks him off the horse and stuns him into a wall. He just drop kicks over the horse, just kicks his ass off the fucking horse. Just a specific interaction between those two. Like the whole set and horse thing, just making Gilgamesh and Lancelot fucking drop kicks his ass off the horse.
Well, they've got funny voice lines for certain god matchups, so why not? Big pause. I like it, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Are we back to Froze games, or is that the end of Froze?
No, we're on to Dep's games.
We're on to Dep's games. All right. Well, I know there was playing with Bryce, Riggs, Rick, and Trevor. There was one real frustrating slash game where like 3 of the enemy team had Manticore spikes, and there's just I got a problem with that item when everyone can build it. I think that's one of those where it's like having it class restricted would be okay, but like the Wheelish built it. I don't know. It's frustrating when it gives you that
comparison. the best comparison I can make to it, I think I said it before, is it reminds me of when Blackthorn Hammer was super good.
Yeah.
Because it's such a good. It's not even. It's kind of like a tank item. I mean, I guess it is a tank item. It's a full
Yeah,
tank
it
item,
is.
but
It
like
gives you what, 400 health and then 35 of
300.
each protection.
Yeah, 300 health, 35 prots, and then some MP5.
Yeah.
But like it's just like the perfect one defense item. Throw it into like an assassin build or like
Yeah.
something like anybody can build it. It makes you tankier instantly. It has like, the passive if you're not building tank is whatever. Like if that Wheelix went full damage and then
Well,
built
here's the
Manticore,
thing. It doesn't matter if you're not building tank because it's 4% of max
of max
HP.
HP, yeah. Which
Yeah.
if that's your only item that's gonna give you HP, that proc is not gonna be that
And here's the
crazy.
thing. It's double.
Oh no, Def. Oh no, Def. I think your mic is dead again.
Just in time for me to sit down.
Oh no, Def.
Very unfortunate. We're gonna have to figure out what this is.
Reminds me of the old technical difficulties episode with me and Def.
I think the greatest part is like it's working great until it's Depp's time.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, Depp, go ahead, give us a story, and it's like, how about no?
Do we want to play a game where we think of what Def was gonna say right there?
Well, I was playing the game. All right,
was gonna say.
Depp legitimately did get a compliment on his Thanatos from Beard this week. We were playing on Nev's stream, and motherfucker was actually did pop off on a Thanatos game.
So what you missed right there, Fro, was we were talking about Manticore spikes, right? Depp was saying how he does not like the item because it's such a efficient stat stick for anybody that wants a tank item, right? Anybody can build
Check
it.
1,
The
2.
proc. Oh, Depp's
Welcome back.
Boys, we're going to have to do another clap sync.
All right,
I don't know
let's let Riggs finish this real quick, and then we'll clap.
Yep.
Well, all I was gonna say is I think what Depp was gonna say there is that he loves how if you're the one that picks it up, it's double the effect because that means that even if you're not building a lot of health, you still get a decent proc. And Depp loves that.
Oh yeah, love it, but also kind of shit when it's against you. You know, one of those love hates, and it's like, oh, let's have this item do more damage than certain gods' abilities. You know, no big deal. But yeah, clap sync. Let's third time's the charm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm gonna love editing this week, boys. Just gonna love it. Just gonna love it. Well, much like my mic issues, played games with Riggs, Bryce, and the boys. Played games on Nev stream. Got a little praise. Had that 17 and 2 Thanatos game. Felt great. Didn't get to finish the build. I think they surrendered right before I got my penta. That's what it was. I had the quadra. I was casting my silence, and I had my one in the chamber, and I was within auto range. They were as good as dead, and the surrender went off, and I did not get my penta. So, after that, play a couple more games. Nothing notable except for a motive today. This morning, we had a salty Ravana. He was big in the typing meta, sitting in base during that time. Tried to use the argument of, oh, I'm Ravana and you're Osiris, and I did more damage than you, even though I AFK'd in base. And it's like, well, okay, I mitigated twice as much. So, like, what's your point? Like, I had 2 times the amount of damage mitigated as you. So,
Hell yeah.
who's the what's your brag? You did the same amount of damage as me, and I still mitigated way more.
Listen, it's time we fucking turn damage mitigated into the new damage dealt. Right? Everyone's
Mhm.
always talking about, look at my damage, look at my damage. Fuck that, dude.
No,
Look at your
my
mitigated, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Tell me you were getting in there. I don't care how much damage you were fucking putting out. Tell me you were getting in there.
exactly.
Tell me you were getting dirty.
Yeah. And so the Ravana, he was flaming our Neath, which went to the Neath was playing like a bitch. I'm not giving you an excuse, Neath, but also like the Ravana just made our situation worse. And we got RNG'd. There was nothing we could do about it. But still, like, don't be like a bitch. Like, legit told the person not to play anymore. And I'm like, oof, easy report, buddy. So I reported him. And I'll be waiting for that an action has been taken against a player you reported. Because the man's admitted to it in the post-game lobby. He built my case for me, and it was great.
Gotta love when they do that.
Hell yeah.
It makes it so easy. And it's like, look, here's your evidence. He admitted to it. Hit him with it. Hit him with it. Now, Fro Double G, with all of the mic issues that I have been having, and the fact that I have the memory of a fit, I wrote in the show notes, main role discussion. Would you care to lead us into this?
All
Would
right.
you care to lead us
So,
into
Riggs, if you wouldn't mind, could you share your screen, just that photo for all of our YouTube viewers, so they'll be able to see what we're talking about here. That is the photo we will be discussing. It'll also be the thumbnail of this video. So, for all of our audio listeners,
guess what it is about?
yeah,
I have no
let's
clue. It looks like a shitty chili recipe.
Okay,
To be
so
honest.
that's not what it is.
Okay.
As you can see, there is a red team and a blue team, and each little symbol has like an initial in it, right? A letter for each thing that it stands for.
Yeah.
Now in Smite, what would this be? Like what would this be like a description of, like a drawing of, right? So each symbol represents a class, right? You have your M, you have your mage, your hunter, your guardian, assassin, warrior, right? For each
Okay,
team.
that's what they are. Gotcha.
What would this be? With the knowledge of what Fro was saying is what we're last night, me, Fro, and Bright were talking about each role and like what their job is to do.
So I see Mage Hunter grouped. They're your damage characters. Guardians are pointing to support the assassin and warrior, or CC out the enemy assassin and warrior. And then the assassin warrior can individually take out the hunter or combine to get the mage. Is that what's going on?
You are basically there.
Okay.
So what this was is me and I started off when we were talking about like what the role of a mage is in like just general terms in Smite, right?
you can go ahead and drop that
And
now.
then so it prompted me to while Bright and Fro were talking about it, it prompted me to go into MS Paint, whip something up real quick, and this is my version of an ideal team fight, 5v5. If both teams do what they are supposed to do, this is what it would look like.
Okay.
So what we have, right, for both teams, you have your backline, your mage and your hunter.
Okay.
They are getting dove. Now in this one, I drew it where both of them were diving the hunter. It could go either way, but for this example, they're diving the hunter. So the mage and the hunter, their job is to peel for each other and try to out DPS the dive, right, or survive the dive, basically. That's happening on both sides. The support is in the middle. They have an option. They can either help their team dive the enemy backline or turn around and peel for their backline, or do both, depending on the character. Like some characters can do both. And that is what we have here. That is my glorious depiction of what an ideal team fight is. Now you can go ahead and save your praise for my drawing afterwards, but basically
I
that's what we
mean,
have.
you used the shapes really well.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
the
was.
letters and the other lines that concern me.
I don't remember what the orange line surrounding the back line was about because there was multiple iterations of lines going everywhere.
Yeah.
But basically, the lines are just like, hey, they're attacking the dive, and the lines from the Guardians are just like, hey, they can have the option of going back and peeling or going forward and dive. Like,
Gotcha.
So this whole discussion started because I had said that mages were meant to kill mages, hunters, and assassins. Right? That's like main purpose. Well, okay. Their main target most of the time. My actual statement was they're meant to throw out large bursty AoE damage on as many people as possible, depending on the situation, right? But their kill potential when they're looking to kill, right, is on the assassins and warriors. And to go back to the root of the actual start of the conversation, it was Cuckoo's ultimate, or kill somebody with his ult, one-shot them, is now actually rather difficult now that they've like nerfed his passive, nerfed all the items, and the tanking happened. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, you guys were looking at Cuckoo's achievements, right? And like both of them are kind of just like ridiculous.
There's a lot of God's achievements that are kind of ridiculous.
I think like Cuckoo's 2, or I know first had one of them where it's like you have to completely 100 0 somebody with this
it
ult,
is
and then
utterly
this other
downpouring.
one-
I have to go shut some windows. I'll be right back.
Savage.
So one
The
of his
weak-
achievements is one shot somebody with the ult, and then the
Yeah.
other achievement I think it's 2 or maybe it's 3 people. Kill 3 people with your tornado,
That's tough.
which is like, yeah, people don't. It's like hard to get enough ticks on that anyways because people don't stand in it,
Yeah.
and then it's like
Well, and
you have
here's
to kill
the thing.
3 people with it.
They've made everyone tankier. Like the item, like fucking manticore spikes. Like you get 35 of each damn protection and 300 health plus bonus damage for being tanky.
Yeah, you build Soul Reaver
Like,
and build Opshard, you're fine.
I don't know, man.
They have 300 more health for your Soul Reaver proc, and they have more prods for your Opshard proc. There you go.
But if they have enough protections, it still doesn't matter. You're not going to be doing good damage to them.
You're not gonna one shot them, but
Exactly.
which is the point of the ult, I guess. But like the
Well, but
three
like
is not gonna
anyone
get
can
that.
build the manticore spikes without repercussions, essentially, right? Like there's no downside to not building that item.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I have a problem with. So,
But basically,
back. Sorry
what
about
Fro was
that.
saying before he left. What Fro was saying before he left is that we were talking about like basically like the role of kind of each class, right? And specifically
real quick,
mages.
Riggs, close your
And he was
stream if you're done with the photo.
He was
Thank you.
saying that like you said earlier, mages do AoE damage. Their job is to hit the assassin warrior when they dive.
yep.
And then I think Bright was saying that mages should be hitting the enemy backline or whatever. And then I was like, mages should be hitting the tanks. And then we had the whole thing, and then we drew this. And so I don't know how we want to go about this.
Riggs had made the statement that mages should not be hitting the enemy backline with their damage. And then that's what kind of started this. But a lot of our counter arguments to it were that there's a lot of long range mages, right? That do hit the enemy backline. Now, one thing we didn't also touch on is we just kind of focused on just this photo. But one thing we didn't touch on is those people have to get into those positions. And until they get into those positions, the long range mages do have we have the term free casting for a reason, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There is that. So I don't know exactly what all I missed. It sounded like you were just kind of explaining everyone's positions on the photos that we were talking about.
Yeah, and then we were talking about the Cuckoo's
And then
achievements.
I got back to manticore spikes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So really, I'd just like to kind of go over a little bit on what is everybody's role in the actual team fight as presented, like Riggs did, like your very typical standard. This is a team fight.
My perfect description of a team fight done in Microsoft Paint in about 2 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
My Picasso, if you will.
in the one, the very key aspect, and this does very much so matter, he has in the middle of it, right, is the Guardians deciding, right, both ways. Go help the divers, peel for the backline. And that is like the two big choices on your typical guardian. We'll insert Ymir, right? Very capable of doing both jobs very well, peeling or helping, right? They are the ones sitting there. I think we did, what was it? Riggs,
we did
real quickly. Riggs real quickly joked and said Gavin Caprine made them help the wrong teams and be like, hey, nothing happened. Your whole team gets wiped.
Yeah.
Well, I was like we were talking about like what could happen. This is like the drawing itself is just a stereotypical standard team fight. What should happen? Like
Right.
this is like the standard. It's like if you were gonna call a play in football, this would be your standard play that you build off of. Same thing. This is your standard team fight. And I made the joke of like, now if you let's say your two guardians are Geb and Kepri, so the team that's diving your carries gets Geb shielded and your carry survive, and the team like your team diving they get Kepri ulted and their carry survives, nothing happens. So both backlines are alive and the both guardians are alive, and nothing happens.
Right.
It's like, but yeah, it all comes down like for us like, to the supports because the supports have the biggest influence in these team fights. I would say like with what they want to do.
Right.
They can basically leave your backline alone, say you guys are on your fucking own. Better use your relics good, better dodge, make them miss abilities. I don't know, do something. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go help dive, or vice versa. You can say fucking assassin warrior, have fun diving. Good luck, hit your shit, time your stuff right, because I'm gonna go peel.
Yep.
Or you could do a little bit of both depending on how you're playing. But
Yeah. So right there, that's our basis. Is what's the guardian doing, right? And that'll kind of change everything up, right? You'll have on the other end, you have the warriors and the assassins who are diving and should be diving the enemy or your enemies, hunter and mage, right? That is what they're designed to do. Your assassin is meant to go in and get the enemy backline. Your warrior is meant to dive them as well and be the one to take the damage for your assassin. Keep that in mind, warriors. You are there still to tank for your assassin that's back there with you. That is their actual job in a standard team fight. Now, your mages and your hunters on your team, right? You are there to throw out the AoE damage on either the three, if the guardian comes, the guardian, the warrior, and the hunter, or the hunter, or the assassin and the warrior that's coming at you, right? And then your hunter is also there for the sustained damage throughout it all. It was kind of brought up yesterday. We use Poseidon as an example. Let's say you have a Shock and a Bakasura diving, right? And you are on Poseidon with an Artemis on your team. Or we'll even go to someone more autofocused, like a Rama, very autofocused. The Poseidon is 100% looking to fucking Whirlpool Kraken to kill the assassin, right? Boom. He has achieved, along with throwing a lot of damage on the Shock at the same time. Again, AoE damage. He has achieved lots of damage. This is where the Riggs is like, now I'm remembering all this shit and what I wrote it.
No. So what I'm gonna draw what you're saying. All right. So here's a Poseidon whirlpool. Boom. On the enemy team, right? Oh wait, I should probably change color. Boom. So now
We're
your
getting real
mage threw out a
technical this
whirlpool over
episode.
here if I can help the dive or something, because he can reach that far. Or vice versa, you know. Maybe he threw one over here.
After the Poseidon has Whirlpool Kraken, that is almost always not going to be enough damage to kill the warrior. He can auto it down, but the warrior probably... Poseidon will struggle to finish the warrior by himself. And that's where the hunter comes in, right? And especially if the guardian came with the three, or came with the other two, right? And you got the three people. The hunter, heavily needs to take those two out, right? Because the mage will struggle. The mage will have gave him a good lead at doing it by bursting, I think I said it was somewhere between, 40 to 60% of their HP conservatively, right? Let's assuming he hit his combo full kit. Now, your assassins are doing the same thing. Or let's say that those assassins, the Shock and the Boxer, are now on your team. Let's say they have dodged the Whirlpool and the Kraken, right? It is like 100% the assassin's job. And this is where it gets tricky, right? to pick one of the two, because assassins are primarily a single target focused person, and hopefully the same person that your warrior picked, most likely you're going to want to kill the hunter first, right? Now, there's two reasonings behind this. The hunter is what's going to be able to kill your tank, the warrior that came with you, the dude that's protecting you, right, and taking the damage for you, right? One hand washes the other. You got to help keep him alive. Secondly, mage's kit is down. We just said that you survived or juked, whatever, the Whirlpool Kraken. You have 8 seconds before you have to worry about his damage again. You still have 2 autos a second coming at your ass from the hunter. Kill him first. Most of the time. There are definitely exceptions. And the warrior is the same mindset, really. Obviously, positions matter. Cooldowns of certain abilities, relics, other things like that matter. But this is just very standard thought process here, right? That is what you're going to be looking to do. The assassin warrior, very similar role in this aspect here.
I wanna add a third and a 3.5 to that as well. Why you go on to the hunter? In any other mode besides, like, I guess, and just conquest, basically, specifically, your hunter is your highest DPS on objectives, whether that's
Yes.
towers, whether that's structures, whether that's
Fire
fire giant, gold
giants.
fury. If you can get the hunter off the team, get him off the map, it makes it 10 times harder for the other team to do an objective. Let's say even if they win the fight, it'd still take them so much longer to do an objective afterwards. So it might not even be
Even if
worth
it's
it for
not
them to go for
necessarily
it.
harder for them, it's definitely going to be slower for them to do it.
It's gonna be a lot slower, and it gives you more. Let's say you didn't get wiped, but like you lost the fight, you could still go and kind of threaten the objective and make them think twice about doing it, just because they can't kill it as fast.
Yep. That is a
And
very, very good
3.5, the hunters are the highest DPS characters in the game. So just mathematically speaking, you get rid of the hunter, the enemy team loses like a shit ton of damage.
Yep.
And the cool thing is, this applies to every single game mode. This thought process, this idea of what to do in a team fight, it applies to every single game.
It doesn't apply to duel too well, but there are exceptions.
Every 5v5 game mode, it applies to.
I'm being a shit. It's very true. Again, this is all just very standard, very atypical. Who the gods are matter. Cooldowns matter. Relics matter. It does. We're not right.
And that's the cool thing too about Smite, right? Is like this is like the standard how a team fight would go if everything is just standard, but Smite's not always standard. So that's what's cool about Smite is you can change. Let's say you have 2 hunters instead of a mage and a hunter. Then it makes it tricky if we want to go on because all that. Let's say this hunter over here on the left is a Chiron. He can ult across the whole team fight to the other team's backline to help the dive. Like there's so many different factors.
For instance, part of the reason we used Poseidon for the example in this anyways is because I mentioned how I consider Poseidon a short-ranged mage, right? I guess you could argue he's medium. I don't really make a distinction. You're either long-range mage or I complain that you're short-range. Otherwise, you're just a mage. I don't know. I mentioned Poseidon, I feel, is a very short-range mage, right? His Whirlpool and Kraken. Kraken does have big AoE, but the center of it you can't put out very far, etc. Same with his Whirlpool.
And here's the thing, bro. I'm going to disagree with you for the sheer fact that Poseidon is such a speedy boy. I'd argue that he could move forward, throw the ability, and back faster than other gods that have better range.
I mean, is Beset range because she can leap in and then leap out?
Yeah, what Fro's saying is like just the range of casting the ability is not as long as someone like
it's not a Thoth, it's not a Ra, it's not a Disco ult, Nox ult type thing is what I was getting at. Which it's not a Chiron ult like Riggs just said, where you can guarantee hitting the backline, right? And that's part of what brought up this whole discussion. On this particular drawing and why Riggs made this one. It's because Riggs' statement was the mages should not be throwing their damage onto the enemy backline.
Yeah.
My thing was that mages should be hitting what's in front of them.
Right.
Whoever
I guess
that happens to be is who that is.
True.
but you should hit
Riggs's
what's in front of you.
actual statement was hit what's ever in front of them.
So whether you're getting dove and you need to hit what's in front of you to help out your backliner, or let's say they're not diving you and you're able to hit their backline because that's what's in front of you, then do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it all spawned because Brett was asking about how to build. I think it was Janice or somebody, and we were all talking about different things you can build and like what you should build, how much percent pen, how much flat pen, and all that stuff, and got into that topic of, well, you should be. I said you should be building almost 40% flat pen or 40% pen every game, just because you should be hitting tanks and what's in front of you, and then it
Yeah.
became a whole.
Well, that's why I
what
like
we should be hitting
Charon's
instead.
coin's good. What is it? Warlock staff has 10% on it still, right? So that's why.
That was another part of the discussion. Oh, we lost Ep again.
Oh no.
Oh, no. But that was another part of the discussion, was how Warlock staff and Charon's coin, along with Tahuti, we didn't bring up Tahuti, but it is fall in the same thing. All three of those have percent pen because those are your anti-tank items. Why do you buy percent pen? And this was another one that was brought up. This is another part of the reason why the whole conversation started. Why do mages buy percent pen? Because tanks are running at them, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be buying percent pen if you didn't have to worry about the tank and you were just fucking free casting on the back line. You're buying flat pen. Give me that Deso. Give me that Magus. Give me that fucking Divine so I can hit their mage with their heals, right? That's when you start buying that shit. But the percent pen items, they also, and this is one thing, like, you have to think about it, but they do enable you to fight tanky people better. Warlock staff, you have more health to survive the tanky people's burst, right? A Ymir only has so much burst. If you have this extra health, there you go. That'll help compensate. Charon's coin gives you movement speed. Warriors and fucking Guardians aren't necessarily the fastest class. You know, you get a little movement speed to get away from them. You have survivability through the HP 5, or sustain through the HP 5 after you survive their burst, along with your Warlocks helping you do that. You have your Rada Tahuti. That's passive, right? It activates at someone who's below 50% health, right? If I Whirlpool Kraken the motherfucker, they are dead, or they're like basically already dead. I'm not cracking people at 30% HP. I don't need to do that, right? Unless it's a tank. And then you want that little oomph that let's make sure this actually finishes it off, right? The Tahuti passive is actually for killing tanks. A lot of people don't realize this because your ult would already kill a half health mage on almost any mage, right? Mage to mage, if the other dude's half health and you hit him with your ult, they die. You don't need a fucking Tahuti passive to ensure that they die. They just die. You're both fucking mages. That is for a tank because that Ymir's got a lot of defense. I might need just a little bit more power in there. Boom. And it also has the percent pen to go with it. That was another aspect that like led into this conversation. The like what you should be hitting, what's in front of you.
If you want from a tank player's perspective of what you should build as a mage, build Obshard, Mirrodin, and fucking Warlocks every single game. You have 40% pen between the three items. You have a shit ton of damage. And my philosophy for it, if you're a mage player, you build the flat pen items for their passives. You build percent pen items for actual damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you want a good passive, all those flat pen items have really good passives. Only build one of them. You don't need more than one. If you want actual good damage, build percent pen.
Yep.
There you go.
I will say those three you suggested are a little meta focused at the moment. Not just like an all the time focused.
Obshard will always be good.
Obshard, yes. That I was gonna say the Obshard though is definitely the one that will always be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mirrodin, that's always all over the place, man.
Yeah.
Recently it's really good. Warlocks has been good for like 2 years now, so I feel like that's gonna stay pretty good.
You know what else is good, fellas? You know what else is good? Doing another clap sync for Dep, helping me get this.
Let's just do a single clap. You got it.
All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. Hopefully that's good enough. Thank you.
What the fuck, Rix?
What?
Every time
I'm telling everybody right now, this is an episode for YouTube. If you're a podcast listener normally, just fucking hop on the YouTube and join us for this fucking ride.
You know,
It
it
is.
is.
It is.
Every time I clicked away from MS Paint right there, it started flashing in black and white.
That's wild.
Weird.
But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, and we cannot help that.
By the
I'm
way,
gonna post that
oh my
picture in
god,
the
it's
new episode
raining
chat.
so hard I need to get up thing.
Yep,
It's
yep.
not even raining at all.
I
Not
know.
a fucking
Not a drop.
stitch, not a drop anymore.
No.
This is a hell of a podcast, people. This is,
You know, it's something. It is something. We got Microsoft Paint. We have Dep's technical issues. We've got Fro lying about the rain.
I mean, no, rain stopped. It was raining. The rain stopped
Mhm.
already. It was like, oh my god, downpour, to like, oh, okay, we're good.
I
You know?
posted that picture in new episode chat and see what people say before the episode comes out. We'll see if they can decipher it.
I literally am just gonna use that as a thumbnail,
You
and
know?
I might just put just optimal right on the
Optimal.
bottom. Just optimal.
And then in the bottom right, I'll do. Oh, I should do a watermark for it. I'll do like a rig slash like in parentheses. I'll put Picasso on it.
Picasso. Yes.
Riggs
Yes.
Picasso.
Riggs Picasso.
Little watermark in the corner.
Oh. Well, fellas, have you worked on your mages any? Because I know we've got the community corner out there for building a mage. Have you considered some abilities? Have you looked into it any?
I
have
have,
two.
but I
I've
definitely feel
I've
like
got an
we
ability
can't.
or two down. We can't do it yet. I feel like we need Nev here, resident mage main.
Yeah.
But
I love how she's known as a mage main. It's like I also am, but she's known as it. Like,
well,
I'm with it
Fro,
though. I'm with it.
You're the ranked assault player. That's what you.
That's fair. I'll take that.
I just like to nut on people.
There you go.
I think that's
Yeah,
what I'm known for.
we could use some more responses in the Discord. Come on now, get in the community corner channel. We've been doing challenges like this for a while.
Yeah, I thought the mage one would be like the most popular one, but I feel like we haven't gotten a ton.
Oh god damn it. Dep. I think we're just gonna ride you out on the episode on mute, bud.
Yeah,
we appreciate you.
Wrapping up.
Get in there. Give us a few more responses. We are rather low on those at the moment. We're not low. We could use a few more, right? So we can fluff it out a little more. There's a lot of abilities. It is a little daunting. We get it.
But at the same time, there's a lot of mage's abilities. You have so much potential, Like just think it. Like I made two. You could easily make like 3 or 4 different mages, depending on like what you want to accomplish. So.
Let's limit it for let's limit it for 2 for now. If you do feel like making another, right?
Oh yeah.
Because we do have some very enthusiastic people, but we do want to share the space for other people if they do want to have 2. There are a lot of options, and a lot of people have already mentioned like they're not sure which ones they want to do, whether I want to do this one or that one.
Like I made 2 mages.
Bastard.
So, I mean,
I guess this one we can't
definitely
open it up to 2, or just people to submit one in general. We do have some thank yous though. Some wonderful people that help us with the podcast each week. Thank you to Sadons for all the wonderful thumbnails that he makes for us. Again, that Lancelot one. Actually, my absolute favorite one he's done so far is Step and I riding on the crow. That was just like top notch, because that was also a very fun episode. Thank you, Sadons. Thank you to Reducation for all the wonderful artwork that we have commissioned from him. We very much appreciate it. Remember, everyone, to tip to your artists. And thank you to all of our wonderful patrons that help us improve our podcast. I feel like I had an announcement, like there was something. Oh, Blood Bowl League. Everyone, join the Blood Bowl League. We're hosting in the Patreon section. We need some more people. There are a lot of people saying they're interested, but nobody signed up. What's up with that? Sign up, people. But thank you to our wonderful patron.
Sorry. I was saying also I think Blood Bowl is on sale right now.
Is it?
On Steam. Yeah, I think I
Good
saw
note.
it on like I was on Steam the other day. So if you want to join, it is also on sale. I'm pretty sure. Actually, let
I'm
me
gonna
check right
add
now
some
before I do
people
it.
about that. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah.
But thank you to our wonderful patrons: Ariel Steel, Asbestos Dog, Weatherman, Keith, Jade Flagon, Baseball, Griff, Bombi, Danny, Caveman, Neo, Coffin Monkey, City Arlets, Gilly, Snorlax, Weatherman, Adios, Surrember, K-Brojo, Famous Freak, Stoffmeister, Backlash, Saydance, Dr. Godfucker, Lantern, Reese, Warlord, Yo, Batskid, Echo Dunk, Doc, Necros, Otter Joe, Riggs, Dracon, Glenwood, Granite Boys, Camel Hoss, Void vs. Broid. Damn it. Void vs. Void, Enbright, Scion, Gemini, Batman, Sandman, Aquasoft, Kilowatt Man, I'm a Hater, Mr. Man, Colorado, and The Big Red. Thank you all very much. Thumbs up from Deps.
Thank you.
Heart hands from Dep.
Also, yes, confirmed. Blood Bowl 2 is on sale. It is $3 right now on Steam.
That is the perfect time. We'll get some adding some folks after this. But we also got some MOTD to get to after this. Dep's got to fix his mic so we can get feeding.
Also, one more thing.
PP,
if you guys
PPS.
if you guys could also fill
Wait.
out the form that I've posted in the announcements for the Baji feud thing. I don't know. I still don't know what we're gonna call it, but we've gotten a ton of submissions so far already. I think we're at like 40 almost, which is like way more than last time.
I like Battleground
I don't know
Feud.
when we're gonna do it. I want to do it whenever we can. All the hosts can be here for it, 'cause it's kind of a fun thing to do like that. So not sure when we'll get around to it, but if you guys could it takes like 2 minutes to fill out. Helps us out a ton. Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Please fill it out. See y'all on the Battleground.
Well, bye.
Bye.
I have stopped recording.